Hello everyone! I've heard your requests time and time again. You just want a true lab guide already. So this guide is going to hopefully be for every soul. Obviously, I'm going to be using this from a determinations perspective, but I'm going to try to make this friendly to all the souls. But just saying bravery users, you kind of do your own thing. But you should still somewhat try to imitate it mildly, but I'll get to where bravery will have a little bit of difficulty. I'm running 6 units for this. Astigmatism, which is a core common evolution, Shiren, which is a waterfall elite, Glyde, which is a genocide Snowden secret monster, Megospel, which is a genocide core secret monster, wave 2, Undying, which is a 5% waterfall genocide drop, and Metaton EX, which is a special soul 5% from regular core. That's the monster lineup. I will also note that I do have 30 Undying Megospel and Shiren, but I'm going to try to do this guide in a way where that will not change too much for the instructions. Also, if you don't have Megospel or Reaper Bird, because obviously Reaper Bird is a great candidate, if you don't have either of those units, then I'd begrudgingly suggest a unit like Mad Dummy, but obviously Mad Dummy is not exactly optimal. So let's get this started. Oh, actually, wait, before I get started, here is my gold multiplier. I will note that I've gotten almost 500 spares with a lower multiplier, though. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, we're starting with Astigmatism. I just noticed right when we got in here that Astigmatism got nerfed and now costs 100 gold more. Okay, Astigmatism is still functional, it's just you have 100 less gold to start off. Developers, why did you do this to me? I was in the middle of recording when you released this. Okay, it doesn't actually harm the guide. It's fine. So, one Astigmatism first. This is consistent between every single soul, right? Every soul places an Astigmatism at the start. It's Astigmatism. Everyone loves Astigmatism, which is why the developers probably nerfed it. So what do you do with this Astigmatism? It's going to be sparing these enemies. By the way, sparing means they have double health. So you're seeing 35, but it actually is 70 health. Same with this. Instead of 46, it has 92, 26, which is why it can be one-shotted. But this Endogamy has 66, so it won't be two-shotted, it'll be three-shotted. And we're going to need to save up some money. Now this is where gold multiplier is pretty handy. By the way, if for some reason a single Astigmatism won't get you enough money, you can just place a second Astigmatism and you'll get a little more money. I don't like placing 2 Astigmatisms down, but that could just be because I have a little more gold. Also, True Lab is arguably the most difficult area in the game. So, by me saying that, let me make it clear. Since the area is so difficult for especially determination users in the early stages, you are probably there's a lot of stuff that you can use to benefit your run. I'm doing this for players with less, mostly by going through the steps of how I've learned to optimize this, but I can tell you that if you want to get the higher outcomes, this is actually more of an end game area. I don't even think you can do True Lab until Reset 2, so I'm sure plenty of you are already sort of aware of that. So I've just been talking, rambling. By the way, this was in really high demand. I was getting requests like several a day, sometimes multiple an hour. Now, bravery users, you're probably not going to want to do this next part. You're going to place a Metaton EX. Patience and determination, you're going to place as Metaton EX, and Metaton's going to be able to repel even more attackers for a little while. Now, back to what I'm saying. Bravery, you have true bravery, which means that you lose gold if you place a special soul. So instead of placing Metaton, you're probably going to want, as a bravery user, go right into placing your Glide here. And you want to place your Glide at the corner. I'll get to double placing. Double placing is incredibly important in True Lab. So, while it's more optional in certain areas, double placing is crucial here. I frequently hear that people claiming that double placing has been fixed, and then I test it and it hasn't. It's just the person is struggling with double placing and they assume that it's impossible. It's not impossible that it will get disabled eventually, but it is not disabled currently, no matter what people might be telling you. If it does get disabled, well, I'm sorry, but that's going to ruin True Lab for everyone. Back to Metaton EX, as you can see. So Bravery, you should already be 1 Glide in. Metaton EX is for determination, patience, with determination benefiting a little more, but patience gets more gold, since true patience is boosting your gold by another 25%. So yeah, patience users will be a little more wealthy right now, and this Metaton EX will actually take us very far. Now, for you, you might notice that I have more than 15,000. Undying normally costs 15,000. I can spend her or get her for 10,000 because I have 30 Undying. If you're wondering if there's a special strat to do it, no. I just farmed so much that I got 30 Undyings. But I waited until I had 15,000 just so that I have less of an advantage. So right now we've managed to get 20 spares. That's not a good number, right? I think you all know that. So I could go ahead and place Glide here, but I just want to stay behind on gold for a little bit, just to, again, try to keep it simulating what it'd be like for players with a little less money than me. There will become a stage of the guide where I'm just going to start spending money like crazy, but for the time being, we're in the early stages. So you have 30 spares. Also, I know someone's going to ask this in the comments. How do you get drops? Why is one drop more rare? No, they're all the same rarity. You get 1% box chance for every 10 spares you get. Oh, but I did 50,000 runs and I didn't get Reaper Bird. Is Reaper Bird a lower? No, Reaper Bird is not a lower chance. They're all the same chance. The reason that your 10% run isn't giving you Reaper Bird is because each individual one is a fifth of that, right? So Reaper Bird would be 2%. If you do a 5% run, well, sorry, but Reaper is now a 1 point, no, just a 1%. Yeah, just a 1% chance. So you get the picture. Now, stronger enemies are going to be approaching. Every 10 spares, every enemy in the True Lab gets stronger, to my knowledge. But I've racked up a lot of money. What am I using this money for? Oh, I'm going to place one glide right as far in the corner as I can. You must put it in the corner. So Bravery user, I hope you did that too. Because if you don't put them in the corner, you can't do what I call double placing. And I'm not going to do it right now, but as you can see, I can place the second glide right in the corner. Please, before you assume that it doesn't work, make sure to actually try it because I've seen a lot of people think it doesn't work when it does. I'm more than that, okay? So now I'm going to immediately bring Glide up to level 2. Some of you might also be wondering, well, can I just do this run without some of the units? The answer is if you're Bravery, you can... There are better guides for you. This will help Bravery users, but there are better choices for you. Like, Bravery users, you would never have placed Undying and Metaton EX. More than likely, you've just gone all Glide. But patience, determination, yeah, you're going to need a lot of this stuff. You can improve. Okay, if you have 30 glides, great. You can actually just skip right to glide as well. You don't need to bother Undying and Metaton EX. But I can tell you that you're not watching this if you have 30 glides or 30 tummies because you wouldn't need this if you had 30 of those. I would probably be way further if I had 30 of those. Okay, so back to this. I'm going to wait until I have 5,000 more gold than needed. That way my Undying advantage doesn't impact the run. Shoot, this is actually scary. I might need... Okay, there we go, there we go. So now, at level 3, Glide goes from 7 cooldown to a cooldown of 3. So look at that, right? Right now we're at 83 spares, and really the biggest advantage I have is my basic money earning from my passive. And since I only started upgrading Glide later on, Patience users will even have a pretty nice money advantage of plus 25 extra percent. And then Bravery users laugh maniacally, as they usually do. It's fine, because I've actually spoken to some leaderboard players, and they are actually telling me that Determination is the best True Lab soul, but only in endgame. So that's something exciting. Now, here's the part that I'm not going to waste any time on. The second I get enough gold for Glide level 4, I'm going to buy it. Okay? Because this is the part where saving the money on Undying really matters. In the meantime, I'm going to place some Shirens. I'm going to place one right here. Then I'm going to wait a couple seconds, place one on the corner, another couple seconds, another corner, Another couple seconds, another Siren. Why am I placing these Sirens, you might ask? I'm placing these Sirens because whenever they do their attack every 15 seconds, they slow all enemies. I think this might be the only way to debuff enemies in the True Lab. There might be another way, but I'm not knowledgeable about it. So, yeah, Shiren will slow the enemies, and that's going to boost your chances slightly. I really hope that it's not a bug that developers will fix, because that would be very sad. The slows will just reassure, I guess, your team, reinforce is the phrasing. Usually, for people with low income, Reaper Bird is the most terrifying monster because Reaper Bird just sprints right through your defenses. As you can see, the enemies are starting to get to the point where they can push through, and this starts to happen around 40,000 gold for me. But we're still managing to defend since Glyde is still putting a lot of damage and pressure on them. But I need to get my level 4 as soon as possible. As you can see, Undying was going to stop that Reaper Bird. I might have gotten enough time to do it sooner. I actually have gotten level 4 Glide without 30 Undyings, but yeah, having 30 Undying will save you 5,000 gold. So now you have your first level 4 Glide with 1800 damage every 4 seconds. Of course, they have double health, so these enemies have 14,000 right now. This Glide is going to do wonders for protecting you, but you're going to need a second Glide. This is where double placing comes in. 2 Glides, 1 box. As soon as I can, I'm getting that wonderful level 2, which means now I have a second Glide contributing an extra 600 every once in a while. It's not a huge amount, but it matters. It takes a while to upgrade these, which is where 30 Shirens come in. Obviously, not a lot of you are probably going to have 30 Shiren, but here's what Shiren does. Shiren, for her price, will boost for the first upgrade damage by 10%, second upgrade range by 10%, and for the third upgrade, you guessed it, cooldown by 10%. So I already got her to level 3 with the hope that, yeah, she'll boost the range and damage. Extra range means they cover just a slight bit more over here. Extra damage means enemies are less likely to sneak through. And cooldown means they're going to do that a little more often. Now, if you want to bring Shiren to level 4 without 30 Shirens, you probably just don't. Or at least right away. If I didn't have 30 Shirens, I would say instead, focus on bringing your second Glide right to level 4 and then do Shiren. I like to do Shiren earlier just because it makes me feel safer. But I believe it's fine to go level 4 Glide, then level 4 Shiren. Alright, so now this Glide is level 3, meaning it attacks every 3 seconds, I think. Yeah, every 3 seconds, with a cooldown of 2.7. Alright, so now we need to wait again for money. We're going to wait until level 4. We're actually not at the point where having the exact amount of gold will be life or death. Having too much less than me will ruin you probably, but thankfully you can get away with having a little less in the titles department. Alright. So we're at 270 spares. Now the hope is that I can get much further, though it's a little difficult to get too far. Alright. So we just wait. We're going to 100% be able to get this guide to Glide level 4. If you can't get Glide level 4 and you follow this guide perfectly, then chances are you don't have as much gold income as me. And the only way to fix that is to get more titles, or higher levels, more resets. I'm max reset and level, so all I can do is get more titles for more gold. And quests, actually. Quests give 2%. So we're at 300 spares as determination, which gives us a 30% box chance. Remember, I hope to make another guide in the future for more spares than this. This is just to help those of you who are struggling with TrueLab get TrueLab monsters. And you might have noticed I still have not used Gospel. That's A, because Gospel is not useful until later, and B, If I use Gospel right now, you'd probably all go, oh wow, thanks, that helps me so much. I don't even have Gospel because I'm willing to bet that a good chunk of you don't. I actually think that some of you watching will, but not all of you. So that's why we're only saving Gospel for later. So right now you can say that following this early part can get you to 300 spares, 30% drop chance, but we want higher than 30%, don't we? Unless maybe you'll all be content with just 30%. Maybe you'll all be. But I get the sinking suspicion that that's not the case. Now, I've tried at this point to sell Undying and replace her with Glydes. Whenever I tried it, it did not work out for me. What worked out for me was just upgrading Undying to level 2, get a Shiren underneath, bring the Shiren to level 4, and then after a little bit that will level up Undying stats further. Now, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to save up for her level 3. If you don't have 30 Undying, instead of that, just start planting your Gospels, okay? Plant the Gospels if you do not have 30 Undying. Even if you do have 30, that might still be the right choice. I'm actually experimenting right here in the guide. Because I need 56,000. Yeah, this isn't working. I'm planting the Gospel. Level 4. Alright, Gospel is now going to do their very important job of not letting us die. And I mean, this is incredibly important. So thank you, Gospel, for volunteering with this important task of making sure that we get past 400 spares. Alright, and now Undying is focused on that little enemy. And we're about to be 30,000. At 30,000, we can bring to level 5. There we go. Now their attack speed goes to 0.4. Wait, shoot, that enemy is getting through. Okay, never mind, didn't get through. I was scared for a second. Oh shoot, I can't place it there. Okay. Well, you're going right here. Level 2. Level 3. Alright, this works, this works. Level 3 one's boosting by an extra 300-ish a second. Undying's doing her job. And this is where it gets scary, which is why we put a level 3 one ahead of everyone. Then another one for good measure. And that's where we end up dying. I couldn't bring my best units, so we only got to 450 spares. But you know what? 450 spares I think is enough for all of you. Look at that, I got Reaper Bird. You all want Reaper Bird? Follow that. So with that, I hope the guide helped you all, and I'll see you all next time. If the guide did help you, please leave a like, leave a comment so others know that it works. And if you want to see more guides like this in the future, please subscribe. I intend on trying to get a higher spare guide. If possible, I want to break the 1,000 spare barrier. We will see if I can find a way to solo it. Thanks for watching.